um, the the ATF raids my work. And when I come out the bathroom, I'm thinking it's some stick up kid. So as soon as I come out, they rush me. I start fighting with the police. So I get locked up. They give me a no bail. I'm on parole. I'm finishing out my, I did, like I said, I did 6 months. So I had roughly 18 months of parole left. You know what I mean? They violate my parole. I go out Towson, Baltimore County Detention Center. So I'm out Towson and I'm playing cards with these older white dudes. And they've been through the system. So they're telling me all this racial shit. Hey, don't fuck with no black dudes. When you go when you go to MCIJ, because that's where all the parole violators went, Maryland Correctional Institute, Jessup. It is off the fucking chain there. But what they were telling me is a straight lie, because Maryland is not segregated like that. We all intermingle. So when I go there, I'm just hanging with all these white dudes, but none of them are from my neighborhood. They're all from like East Baltimore, Essex, Dundalk. And so they don't know me. So mind you, me hanging out with them, immediately they're saying I'm a weirdo. They're saying they don't know what I'm locked up for. I could be gay. They're talking behind my back. So when I find out about this shit, I confront them all, right? In the cell. They're all smoking weed in the cell. And mind you, I got a home invasion charge, which at that time carried 50 years, up to 50 years. I got a home invasion. I got first degree assault, second degree assault, 3 handgun charges, a burglary 1, and a fourth degree burglary. So I'm facing a lot of fucking time, bro. You know what I mean? And so when I confront these dudes, I'm like, fuck them. I'm not fucking with them. But mind you, what them old white dudes were saying about stick to your own kind was in the back of my head. So it was only 3 people in this here that I fucked with. 2 guys that I played pinochle with, an older black dude and a younger black dude. And then I was talking to this one dude named Twan. He had turned 3 years, and he had already had 16 straight in. He turned 3 years into already 16. He stabbed the police at Supermax at Chesapeake Correctional Facility. It's a federal joint now, but it was called Supermax because if you fucked up, that's where you went. You know what I mean? Like if you got years on lockup, that's where they sent you. So mind you, I'm playing pinochle with this old black dude and this young kid. I didn't know he was trying to become a blood, right? So I started socializing with everybody and get to know everybody on this here. Mainly the main gangs were ATF and Bloods. So I didn't know he was trying to become a blood. So we have not been to the store for 2 weeks. It's called Dry Week. Maryland does this shit like every couple months where you don't go to the store for 2 weeks and then you can go and you can double up. So mind you, I still had a lot of money uptown. I still had like 15 or 20 grand. I knew if I caught 10 years, I would be all right. You know what I mean? I would just have to budget my money. You know what I mean?
Isn't that a crazy thing to think, hey, if I go to jail for 10 years, $15,000 will last? It's crazy, isn't it?
It's a fruit. I already had it. Yeah, it's insane to think like that. But for some reason, I'm not hearing on this side of my headphones. If you fucking thing, you know what I mean? So
I want to get into.
What?
I really want to get into the prison stuff, man, and EMI. Go ahead.
All right, now look, I'm gonna explain something to you. This is what I'm getting at. Right. So mind you, when I'm fucking with these 2 kids, with these 2 dudes, and I'm starting to socialize. Now, we're ready to go to state. We're ready to go to double up week. The night before, I'm the only one with shit left in commissary. So one of the blood dudes asked me, hey, can I get some drink mix? I only had 2 shots left. I'm like, yeah, but don't tell nobody because I'm not trying to get into nothing with nobody over some shit. He goes and tells the only dude that I fuck with. He calls me down in front of all them. He's like, y'all gotta holler at me. I'm like, holler at me now. He's like, yo, can I get, and we were on playing time. So I'm like, yo, you're beat before you can even get it out. But I thought we were on playtime. You know what I'm saying? Immediately he goes into bitch, whore, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm against the wall. He's in front of me. I step up and I poke him in his chest. I say, yo, don't do that, yo. When I poked him in his chest, they all circled around me, ready to fuck me up, right? So I go in the cell. I'm in the cell with this old racial black dude. He hated white people. You know what I mean? And I tell him something, what happened. He's like, Shorty, just leave it alone, leave it alone. So that night I go to bed with him to leaving this alone, right? Man, I had a dream about hitting him in the head with my lock. So the next morning I get up, go to double up. I come back and lock my fucking locker, put clothes back, net back, full of shit. You know what I mean? I spent like almost $160. I lock my locker. He's coming out as man to one of his blood dude cells. And I say, hey, yo, let me holler. Before he got the yeah out, the A out, the yeah, I punched him in his mouth and knocked him straight out. So I'm over top of him. I could have done dirty. I'm over top of him. I'm like, bitch, call me a bitch again, see me in the hole.
Molecular diagnostics has changed our daily lives in so many ways. Anyone can find the cause of their symptoms and get a more accurate treatment. Anytime, anywhere, right away. Even if you find the diseases that were scary in the past, there's no need to worry. With molecular diagnostics, they can now be found early and be treated. But there is more.
Bitch again, see me in the hole. MCIJ is 3 levels. It's the top tier, which is a catwalk going around the tier. It's the flat, and then it's the hole where the laundry machine is and a ping pong table. So I go down there, and he's still laying on the ground. I walk straight down. They're waking him up, telling him, yo, you got to go fight that white boy. He's like, man, I'm not fighting that white boy. You see how big he is? They're like, bitch, you better get the fuck down there and fuck him up, or we're going to fuck you up, right? I'm hearing all of this. I'm right down there. Like, he's right here. I'm right down in the hole. So, he comes down there. We get to fighting. I got him in a headlock. I'm biting him. He's fucking trying to slam, but every time I go to slam him, he's grabbing my leg. You know what I mean? So, while I got him in the headlock, one of the dudes comes down there. He's like, yo, that's my cousin. I bite him right in front of him. I'm like, so? I'm like, so? I'm biting, man. He's screaming like a little girl. Ah! So, he's like, yo, that's my blood cousin. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm beating on him while I'm telling him, like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. I'm punishing this dude. He turns around, and next thing I know, he comes running at me, hits me in my mouth. Fucking, that's when 2 of them come down in the hole. Now I got Shorty in the headlock. I'm trying to fight him off. I got one eye already. So it's hard to see, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to fight these dudes off. And I have fake teeth from my dirt bike accident. You know what I mean? I had a dental bridge. So when they hit me the first time, or the second time, it knocked my bridge out. So I'm trying to grab it. I'm on my feet, trying to grab the motherfucking teeth, because these bitches are worth 10 grand. And I put them back in my mouth. They're fucking getting off on me. They're fucking me up. But that one other dude, the BGF dude I was talking to, he called all of them, and they come running down there, and they run. They get out of there. Like, really, the one runs off the pier because they was just called kitchen workers, and he was a kitchen worker. So they tell the dude, like, yo, now mind you, like a week before, all the white people checked in and went on PC. You know what I mean? Over a drug debt. It was only me and a dude with 50 years left on the tier that was white boys, right? So, basically, they went to them and they said, yo, is that shit dead or what? They're like, no, we're going to fly this white boy the fuck up out of here, bitch. They're like, nah, he stood his own ground. Either you're going to see him head up or that shit is going to be left alone. You know what I mean? So, long story short, we go back down in the hole, and I punish the dude again. You know what I mean? So, mind you, that's how my name got out. You know what I mean? Like, that's how people started recognizing me, who I was, because it almost started a war between the BGF and the Blood. You know what I mean? So, mind you, this is in 2004, end of like summer of 04. So I get my time. I get 15, all suspended, and 7, first 5 no parole, right? My co-defendant got 5 no parole, but he was a subsequent offender. And when he got sentenced, they would not let me hear what he said, period. And it wasn't in my transcript. So you know, and I know, if they don't let you hear what he's got to say at sentencing, and it's not in my transcripts, what do you think he said? He blamed this shit all on me. You know what I mean? So I can't say that for sure. He's still my man. He's a little bit slow. It's about that life. But like I said, I can't say for certain. But come on, man. It's not in my transcript, and they wouldn't let me hear it. But anyway, so I'm at Rockbridge, which is a medium check-in spot and a minimum together. So if you get checked in from a minimum or pre-release, and they're raising you up to medium, they take you to Rockbridge first. It's all dorms. It's 96 people in one dorm, right? And they're all flat. You know what I mean? All floor bunks. So they called it the baby cut because shit was jumping off. I mean, literally every day. So I'm over there, and as soon as I get there, I buy a knife. It's a dude that I know from MCIJ, and he's selling knives. Like they're breaking the window arm off, and they're making 2 knives out the window arm. You know what I mean? And they're putting them on grinders. You know what I mean? So it's really nice. Like my knife, I could actually cut. You know, jailhouse, you sharpen them up on the ground, and it's not really sharp. You just puncture. You know what I mean? But this bitch was nice. I paid $10 for it.
$10.
Actually, I paid $2.
$10 for a knife,
a
real knife.
Yeah. Well, hey, and that bitch was nice, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. A couple times, just showing it saved my life. You know what I mean?
Was everybody carrying a knife in there?
Just the gang members at the time, and the main gang members, like I said, it was a big boom on Bloods. You know what I mean? And then it was BGF. You know what I mean? Maryland is a state run by BGF. You know what I mean? So I was with one of the main dudes down there. So like I said, my name got out there from that shit that happened at MCIJ, that I'll stand up for myself and I'm going against the grain. So one of the white dudes that I was on the tier with comes over there, and I didn't know he was a part of the white group. So they pull him up and say, hey man, you need to bring him the fuck home. Like, he's a stand-up dude. Now mind you, this is coming from one of the BGF dudes, because now that they stood up for me, I was fucking with them real heavy, because like I said, they knew I would stand on my own too, you know what I mean? So anytime they caught or something came through, they would show me love, you know what I mean? Whether I had to
Let me tell you something. That's my experience with Baltimore dudes in federal prison, right? They were
Are you planning for sales kickoff? Get the #1 CPQ that sales reps love. Deal Hub is an enterprise-ready solution that you can implement in time for your kickoff. Deal Hub. Price quotes and contract management in one fluid sales motion.
I feel empowered. I feel like the Dimitri Post diagnosis loves every inch of himself.
Ask your healthcare provider if Biktarvy is right for you, and visit Biktarvy.com to view the important facts, including important warnings.
Every Baltimore dude I ever ran into, man, pretty much was a respectful dude, and they were on some man time, right? Where men respect men, man. Like, they weren't on no racial shit, man. I had a dude that had a life sentence that was out of Baltimore, man, and I kept helping him. I got an organization to help him, and he ended up getting out, man. But, hey, man, a lot of Baltimore dudes, man.
Yeah, so look, so they pulled me up, and when the white guys pulled me up, they're telling me, hey, we heard you stand up, we heard you, keep a joint, and like I said, at that time, I was the only white dude that was walking around with a joint, and the reason people knew is because, like, say they did a big shakedown, I would be taping my shit to the outside of the window. You know what I mean? Or, like, if we're in the yard and something jumps off, I go over to the softball field and bury my shit and then come back and get it. So people see shit like that. You know what I mean? So they pulled me up. And a guy that, oh, by the way, remember I was talking about my high school sweetheart, my girlfriend, that I found out was getting high? Well, before I got locked up, she overdosed and died, right? I left her, got with another girl. She called me one night trying to hook up, and she overdosed and died. Now, mind you, the reason why I bring that up, so a guy comes into jail, and he was really good friends with her. So I find out he's a part of the group too. So he pulls me up, and he's telling me he is with this and that. I thought they were white bloods. You know what I mean? I didn't know nothing about no DMI or none of that shit, right? So they pulled me up. You know, they put me on probation. Next thing I know, I become a member. You know what I mean? So mind you, at Brockridge, shit was off the chain. Shit was popping off all the time. And the way we had the jail is, if any gangs caught, we worked down with all the gangs. They showed love. You know what I mean? So basically any missions that came up was fueled by money. You know what I mean? So a couple things popped up. I caught a ticket for tobacco. So mind you, they didn't give me lockup time, but I was in a bad category. So something came up to where a guy was catching, and he was really shaking the jail. He was catching a lot of tobacco. So this is when we functioned as one with the BGF. We were on the same page as them. You know what I mean? So basically, a mission came up. So when we went in the dorm the first time, the guy got paranoid and ran out the other door. So
hold on, let me stop. Let me watch this interview, and they're gonna wonder. Okay, so catching, that means he's getting the package. He's getting something where you can make money. He's not in a gang. Yeah, he's just a solo dude doing himself.
No, he was a solo dude. He had a CO in his pocket. Come to find out, he had a little Dutch bitch in his pocket. He was bringing him in like some weed and shit. But basically, Brockridge, the way it was set up, you could get shit thrown right over the fence, bro. Like, I'd be on the weight bench, and motherfucking get. He was a black dude. Black dude.
DMI and BGF, like, man, this dude's getting money. And
he ain't showing no love. He's not showing no love. Yeah, they basically, that's, and they came to him already and say, yo, we know you're catching, show some love, and everything will be good. He's like, nah, I ain't breaking down. That's what he tells me, because he was cool with the higher up dude, with the higher up BGF dude, but that don't mean shit. Just because you're cool with somebody higher up, there's other powers that be. You know what I mean? And they can go above that shit. You know what I mean? So basically, he thought because he was best friends with the higher up, nothing was going to happen. But the whole time, he wanted to get a vote. He had to go. So we all run in the dorm. He sees us and runs out the other door, right? So they all called me. I stayed in his dorm and just sat there and talked to other people that I fucked with. So he comes back in. The police made him lock in his dorm. So when he comes back in, he's eyeing me. He's like looking at me like, what the fuck is he doing in my dorm? So I sit there for an hour till they call break. So they all run back in, and he's in the back of the dorm. They come up to me. They say, yo, grab him. Now, mind you, the dude was as big as me. You know what I mean? I was like 270 back then. The dude was as big as me, but all he did was run the track. It's like, wait, right? I looked at him. I said, yeah, all right. So they're thinking, I'm going to grab this motherfucker, right? So I go right up to him. Not like he's coming up the aisle of the dorm, and I say, hey, yo, let me holler at you. Before he got that A out of yeah, I fucking stole him. Boom. I knocked him out on his feet, bro. Look, he was asleep, straight up on his feet. Now, there was another one-eyed BGF dude, right, named Savoy, right? He comes over my shoulder and just goes like this, taps him. The dude falls over like a cartoon, bro. His feet flop up in the air like he's like stiff as a board. his feet go up in the air. Motherfuckers just jumped on top of him and started stabbing the shit out of him. They had him in the headlock, just stabbing him in the face, bro. Wop, wop, wop. So every time, like, my man is kicking him, right? Now, mind you, while he's kicking him, he woke him back up. So every time he kicks him, I'm hitting him. And the other dude just working out his face, bro. He got him in the headlock and just fucking stabbing him, right? So our little people are going through his shit. They get nothing. They get absolutely nothing. So it's like, you know, it's like 10 of them in the dorm and it's like almost 10 of us, right? So everybody's shooting out of the dorm, not trying to get caught up in that shit. Mind you, I'm still over there fucking banging the dude in the face, and my man is kicking him. When he stopped kicking him, he was the last one out the dorm. So, just like when the dude left, one of the little, you know, comrade kids shut the door in the police face. The police immediately came in. And this dude is still on the ground, leaking from his face, all fucked up. You know what I mean? So they pull him out, and everybody's trying to leave out the dorm. They didn't let nobody leave. So if you got jammed up in that dorm, they automatically gave you a stabbing ticket, out of bounds. I mean, and it was like 10 people that were out of bounds, and they got stabbed and out of bounds. Now, mind you, they had intel, gang intel. You know that. So everybody went up for their tickets. They got caught out of bounds with the stabbing ticket at Brockridge. So all of them beat it except me and one of my little homeboys that did it with. You know what I mean? So they put us in the bullpen and they send us back to MCIJ. We get to MCIJ and we're on walking seg. This is how ghetto the place is. They give us no seg time, no box time. They let us do a walking seg.
I've seen that before. How are the cops in the ghetto system? Are they nasty?
Okay, so back then, MCIJ was still all American people from the city. Mainly in Jessup, it was a lot of people from the city, black officers from the city. The white ones were like older and retiring. So I went to MCIJ 3 times, right? By the 3rd time, it was 90% Africans. And they are cop motherfuckers. I watched the African police jump in front of a knife before and get stabbed himself. You know what I mean? Like, they're ruthless. Like, they don't give a fuck because you gotta figure, like, they had this one dude at, the cut annex, right? They had this one dude from Africa. He had, scars right here and 3 scars. So I'm on live. He said, "What happened to your eyes?" I say, "Man, what the fuck happened to your face?" He said, "They're tribal rites of passage." He said, "I killed a tiger with a stick and used his claw to cut these fucking marks on his face." Straight up. So that's what type of people you're dealing with. They fight fucking lions and tigers with fucking sticks, bro. They don't give a fuck. If you're stabbing somebody, they're getting in front of it.
Yeah, wow.
It's not, you know. Yeah, right. So, but mind you, also the Africans do not break law like that. You know what I mean? So, if you got something, they're going to fight you. You know what I mean?
So they're on
the MCIJ,
these cops, they're not African Americans. They're Africans from Africa, and they're on some real they're on some real cop
Nigeria,
stuff.
Man. Super cops, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna take you over to the. I'm gonna take you into the DMI stuff. If you mind a little bit.
Go ahead.
So DMI stands for, tell the people. I mean, I know what it is, but you tell me. What does DMI stand for?
Okay.
Superpowers from the Spider-Man. I can help showing the world how Liberty Mutual customizes their car insurance. Ow! I'm okay!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Only in the theater.
Okay. It stands for Dead Man Incorporated.
Dead Man.
All right. Basically, it was a organization, a spinoff of BCF. You know, I'm just keeping real with you. You know what I mean? It was originally created under context that I can't really speak on, but it was mainly for white people. But I mean, they got black players, they got Spanish, Chinese, you know, the thing about DMI, they accept any race. You know what I mean? And they use that to like as an ideology of power overall. You know what I mean? It's bringing everybody together. You know what I mean?
That gang, which I don't know if you still are, or if you're in good standing.
I'm not. You know, you know, it's some controversy on why I left. I'm gonna get into a little bit. So, the first time I walked away when a federal indictment hit. When the first federal indictment hit and they locked up the founder, he opened the gates up. So, basically, I walked away when the gates were open. There was no repercussions for it. So, I walked away in beginning of 2012.